What if the next Galaxy Ultra had a game-changing camera? Or AI that feels truly intelligent? Could Samsung finally dethrone the iPhone? The Galaxy S25 Ultra is coming, and rumors are swirling. Are you ready to peek into the future of smartphones? But here's the thing, rumors and leaks about the S25 Ultra have already started to surface, and some of them are pretty exciting. So let's break down what we know, what we think we know, and what we're hoping to see. Let's start with the basics. How will the S25 Ultra look and feel? Well, if you're expecting a complete design overhaul, you might want to temper your expectations a bit. Samsung seems to be sticking with the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" philosophy here. Remember how the S24 Ultra introduced that sleek titanium frame? Well, we're betting that's here to stay. It's durable, it's premium, and let's face it, it just looks cool. But don't think Samsung's just copy-pasting the S24 Ultra's design. Word on the street is that the S25 Ultra might be rocking a curvier design while keeping the front nice and flat. It's like Samsung saying, hey, we can do curves and flat screens, why choose? Now, let's talk about that screen. Rumor has it that we might be looking at a slight size increase. We're talking 6.9 inches, up from the S24 Ultra's 6.8 inches. I know, it's not exactly earth-shattering, but hey, every little bit counts, right? But here's where things get interesting. Samsung's been playing this game of who can make the brightest screen for a while now. The S24 Ultra already pushes an eye-searing 2,600 nits of peak brightness. So, what's next? 3,000 nits? 4,000? At this rate, we might need sunglasses just to check our notifications. Oh, and get this. There's talk about the S25 Ultra being the thinnest Ultra device we've seen since the Note 20 Ultra, coming in at a svelte 8.4 millimeters. Combine that with potentially wider display, and we're looking at a phone that might be easier to handle despite its massive screen. Now, that's what we call progress. Alright, let's get to the good stuff, the cameras. We all know that the Ultra series is where Samsung flexes its camera muscles, and the S25 Ultra doesn't seem to be breaking that tradition. Now, the S24 Ultra already packs a punch with its 200 megapixel main sensor and that crazy 100 times space zoom. So, how do you improve on that? Well, according to the rumor mill, Samsung's got a few tricks up its sleeve. First up, there's talk about an upgrade to the wide-angle lens. We don't have specifics yet, but any improvement to an already stellar camera setup is music to our ears. But that's not all. The ultra-wide lens might be getting a serious boost, jumping from 12 megapixels to a whopping 50 megapixels. That's a lot of extra detail in those sweeping landscape shots. But wait, there's more. Remember that 50 megapixel telephoto lens on the S24 Ultra? Well, it looks like Samsung's not done tinkering with it. There's chatter about variable capabilities for the telephoto lens on the S25 Ultra. Now, we're not entirely sure what that means, but our best guess is that it might involve the ability to change focal length while connected to a single sensor. Imagine being able to smoothly zoom from 4 times to 5 times or 6 times to 7 times, especially when shooting video. That's some next-level camera wizardry right there. Now, we did hear a wild rumor about Samsung possibly ditching the second telephoto lens, leaving us with just 3 cameras instead of 4. But before you panic, this seems pretty unlikely. If anything, Samsung might be looking at ways to make those zoom capabilities even more versatile. So, whether you're a casual snap-happy user or a mobile photography enthusiast, it looks like the S25 Ultra is gearing up to be a pocket-sized powerhouse in the camera department. Now, let's talk about what's going to be powering this beast. It's pretty much a given that the S25 Ultra will be rocking the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 chipset. And let me tell you, if the early benchmarks are anything to go by, this thing is going to be a monster. We're hearing rumors of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 having a 4.3 GHz prime core. To put that in perspective, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 tops out at 3.4 GHz. That's a pretty significant jump in power. But here's the million-dollar question. How is Samsung going to keep all that power from turning the phone into a hand warmer? But it's not just about raw power. Samsung's been going all in on AI with their Galaxy AI features, and we expect the S25 Ultra to take this to the next level. We're talking about on-device AI capabilities that could make your current smartphone look like a calculator in comparison. And get this, there's talk about the S25 Ultra getting faster UFS 4.1 storage speeds. Now, I know storage speeds might not sound exciting, but trust me, this could be a game changer. We're talking about the ability to record 4K video directly to a hard drive, just like the iPhone 16 Pro Max. That's some serious pro-level stuff right there. Oh, and for all you multitaskers out there, how does 16 gigabytes of RAM sound? That's up from the 12 gigabytes in the S24 Ultra. With that much RAM, this phone could probably run a small country, let alone handle your day-to-day tasks. Now let's talk juice. The S24 Ultra already has a beefy 5,000 mAh battery that can keep you going for nearly 17 hours of continuous use. So, how do you improve on that? Well, it looks like Samsung might be sticking with the same 5,000 mAh capacity for the S25 Ultra. Before you start grumbling about the lack of improvement, hear me out. With all the upgrades, we're expecting the more powerful processor, the improved cameras, the AI capabilities. Keeping the same battery life would be actually impressive. It's like getting a sports car that's faster than your old sedan, but still gets the same gas mileage. And here's a little tidbit for you. There's talk about improved GPU efficiency in the S25 Ultra. What does that mean for you? Potentially longer battery life, especially when you're doing graphics-intensive tasks like gaming or video editing. As for charging speeds, it looks like we might be stuck with the same 45-watt charging. Now, I know some of you might be hoping for faster charging, but let's be real. With a battery this size, 45 watts is still pretty darn quick. All right, let's talk software. By the time the S25 Ultra hits the shelves, we'll be looking at Android 15. And if Samsung keeps up with their current policy, we're talking about 7 years of software support. That's like, what, Android 22? We'll probably have flying cars by then. But the real star of the show is likely to be the next evolution of Galaxy AI. Samsung made a big splash with the AI features on the S24 series, and you can bet they're not going to stop there. We're hearing whispers about possibly equipping Bixby with generative AI capabilities. Imagine having your own personal AI assistant that can not just understand you, but actually generate content for you. The possibilities are mind-boggling. And here's something interesting. There's talk about the S25 series possibly getting satellite connectivity. We've seen this on the iPhone 14, 15, and now 16 series, and it's a pretty neat feature for those times when you're out in the boonies with no cell signal. It's not something you'll use every day, but when you need it, you'll be glad it's there. Now, I know what you're all wondering. When can we get our hands on this beast, and how much is it going to cost us? Well, if Samsung sticks to their recent pattern, we might be looking at a mid-January 2025 release. Mark your calendars. As for the price, well, brace yourselves. The S24 Ultra already saw a price hike of $1,299, and with all these upgrades, we wouldn't be surprised to see the price creep up even further. But hey, quality doesn't come cheap, right? So there you have it, our deep dive into the Galaxy S25 Ultra. From its slightly curvier design and improved cameras to its powerhouse performance and continued AI push, it's shaping up to be one heck of a device. Now, remember, a lot of this is based on rumors and leaks. Samsung could still surprise us with some out-of-left-field features or design changes. But one thing's for sure, the S25 Ultra is going to be a phone to watch out for.